B-me27, Q. A guy at a mid-tier, SaaS shop money's decent, job's dull, life's quiet, used to be easy. Mode find bug, list steps, attach logs, clock out. Then leadership discovers culture, not food culture, not team vibes, slide deck culture. DEI glued onto everything, like duct tape town halls, start breeding like rabbits. Committees pop up out of nowhere. Every email ends with belonging. People start sounding like HR chatbots. Whole day feels like walking on bubble wrap. Say one wrong thing, you hear the pop. First red flag is the new hires marketing strategists who can't download a CSV. People ops designers who can't reset passwords. Job titles get longer, actual skills get thinner. Then Ken shows up. Badge says Caitlin email, says call me Ken. Reason is it's less coded. Someone still messes it up and gets corrected instantly. Day one includes an all-hands intro. Email, subject line, screams, pronouns. Like an alarm body reads like a revolutions pamphlet. 3 paragraphs about tearing down systems. Signature looks like a neon collage, bright pink pronouns. Quote of the day footer about questioning bias. Back-end guy replies with a simple welcome, immediately followed by another email. She calls it a gentle reminder, wants full identity acknowledgement. 10 minutes later, half the office is tense. After that, the place turns into a simulation. Meetings become verbal minefields. Say, you guys. Someone flinches for her. Say, insane. Suddenly it's about harm. Say, owner. Get corrected to steward. Every joke feels like it needs legal approval. Male tears. Mug sits on her desk. Not ironic. Not funny. Just there like a warning label. Management eats it up. Calls her a culture champion. Puts her on panels. Lets her host ally. Workshops attendance is optional, but not really one session. Forces accountability confessions. Dave from DevOps admits he once said, dude. Ken nods like he solved world hunger. My team adapts fast. Memorize the safe words. Swap vocabulary. Like it's survival gear. Faces lock into neutral mode. Coffee breaks turn into stealth ops. Kitchen becomes her stage. She camps near the espresso machine, broadcasts articles about toxic masculinity, reads, outrage like a podcast host, collects small wins like trophies. People stop arguing. Nobody wants to end up screenshot. In general, months go by. Like that draining but manageable, then new senior dev, joins name's Ethan, late 30s, maybe early 40s. Quiet. Plain clothes, no slogans, no pins, no vibes. Face like a locked door. Gets the office tour, nods, shakes hands. Never does. The backstory speech desk setup is precise, 2 monitors, perfectly lined, keyboard clicks, steady like rain black, notebook water bottle. Nothing flashy. Looks like a guy who just wants to work mid-morning. Culture Patrol spots him. She glides over holding that mug nearby, cubicles suddenly super busy. She switches into podcast voice. Hi, I'm Ken. Pronouns, she/they. Then the pause. Not normal pause, the kind that expects something back. Ethan turns his head slightly. Nice to meet you, he says, then goes back to typing. No pronouns, no ritual, just work. Silence stretches across the open floor. Her smile glitches for a second, eyes searching for a script that isn't there. 10 long seconds crawl by, keyboard keeps clicking. She finally says, okay, walks away. Dave looks at me over the monitor. Tiny nod, not happiness, relief. Like someone cracked open a window. Everyone assumes that's it. People are always wrong to her. Refusal is a problem to fix. Next to move is email marketing sends some campaign blast. Ethan needs a technical detail. His reply is clean and direct. Ken, which endpoint are you using for export? Thanks, Ethan. No pronouns, no fluff. Just business. She lets out a dramatic sigh, loud enough for an audience perfectly timed, wants everyone to feel it. Ethan keeps typing, doesn't even look up. No apology. Her usual weapon hits. Nothing, plan, changes. Friday afternoon, slow down. Ethan walks into the kitchen for tea. She appears with a junior marketer trailing behind. They box him in by the microwave like a courtroom setup. She launches into a speech male privilege in tech systems of power. Patriarchy defaults, Junior nodding like a bobblehead. Then comes the trap question. What are you doing to dismantle the systems you benefit from? Kitchen goes dead silent. Someone freezes mid-sip at the water cooler. Ethan stirs his tea, takes a slow sip, looks at her like she's some rare bug. I write code that works, he says. I document it. I help unblock the team. That helps users. Small, polite nod walks out. No argument, no guilt. She just stands there holding that mug, like her turn got skipped. Someone barely holds back a laugh and escapes. Next battleground is Slack company uses it for everything. Hashtag General exists. She treats it like her personal blog posts, articles daily, silence is violence, allyship requires action, intent isn't impact. Most people ignore it. Ignoring is survival. Then she escalates tags. Ethan directly in general. Would love your perspective as a senior lead. Chat goes silent instantly. You can feel everyone watching typing bubbles, never show Ethan's status. Says active minutes pass, then an hour. Nothing. Then Project Aurora Channel gets a message. UI module pushed to staging. Doc's updated QA can start whenever he answers something completely different, cleanest possible. No I've ever seen. She spirals the only way she knows how DMs start firing off. Later, Dave shows me a screenshot. Whole screen, just text blocks. Words like harmful, unsafe, textbook behavior. His reply is one line. Apologies, focused on Q3 deployment. That's it. No emotion, no bait. Nothing to grab onto. Weeks keep going like that. Trap gets set, trap gets ignored. Next tactic is meetings, status sync. Derails into a speech about hustle culture, toxicity. M looks like he wants to melt into the carpet. Ethan just waits it out, lets her finish, then calmly asks about database migration, flat tone actual work. Question room, snaps back to reality. Without noticing, she tightens up. Attention is her fuel, and he won't give her any. So she switches strategies, gossip campaign, starts moves through marketing, like perfume HR language used like a padded weapon. She's not angry, she's concerned. He's not quiet, he's creating a chilling effect. He's not focused. He's avoiding cultural engagement. Neutral becomes passive harm. Word microaggression shows up more than bug. New hires start buying it. Side eyes in the hallway, conversations. Stop when he walks in. Older engineers notice the pattern. Nobody says it out loud. Saying it out loud gets you fired. Support shows up in small ways. People ask him for help on purpose. Skip over the politically correct dev, who can't deliver. Someone leaves extra coffee pods after he empties the machine. Tiny nods in the hallway. Two currents under the surface. One is theater, one is work. Then she rolls out a new ritual calendar. Invite. Inclusive stand-up pilot. 15 minutes every morning, mandatory but labeled. Optional, first session, kicks off pronoun, roll call. She performs hers like she's on stage, then points at Ethan's spotlight. Without warning, he says, Ethan, pause like he's waiting for build status. She nudges again. And pronouns? He shrugs. Just use my name. She laughs way too loud. Not real laughter, panic dressed up as humor. Next prompt comes out, share one barrier and one belonging. When engineers stare at the table like it might open up. One guy says, build failed. She corrects him instantly. Relational barriers. He insists Ethan says his barrier is unclear. Requirements she tries to redirect, he repeats requirements. M cuts the meeting early, looks 10 years older. Walking out week later, new initiative allyship pledge, polished PDF hearts. Bold fonts, signature line, waiting at the bottom, request sounds, soft feels like a threat. His reply is short. I follow the code of conduct. I don't sign ideological pledges for employment. Email gets forwarded to HR subject line says, concern. HR does nothing. HR hates lawsuits more than drama. She acts like HR took action. Anyway, then surveys start rolling out. Pulse checks, anonymous links, questions about psychological safety, questions about whether neutrality feels harmful. She walks around smiling like she already knows results. Drop scores, tank across the department. Not because of him, because everyone's exhausted. She points at the chart. Calls it resistance. Ethan asks, what sprint metrics changed? She says this is also data. He asks which JIRA ticket maps to. Irum slowly turns toward him again. Her smile stretches thin like it might snap. Then she tries pulling me in, catches me near the printer voice, low, like it's confidential, says his vibe makes her feel unsafe, asks if I've noticed anything off. Studies my face for agreement, I say he's been polite. She says politeness can still be violence. I put on neutral mode, grab my papers and leave. Then company schedules, a town hall, big room, CEO, upfront quarterly numbers, on screen, Q and A opens. She stands immediately, no business question. Just a speech talks about resistance, people not embracing values, no names said. Everyone knows some of us can't bring our whole selves. Voice shaking like it's an audition. CEO nods seriously. Gives the corporate prayer, we take this seriously. We're committed to belonging line, gets drawn anyway. She just turned a personal issue into a company problem. Next morning, rumors explode. Someone saw her going into HR, carrying a binder, actual binder tabs, highlights. Everything stays in there over an hour. Printer area turns into gossip central. Then email hits, subject vague on purpose. Follow-up discussion, invite list includes him, includes her, includes P, M, includes me, desk. Proximity wins. I'm a witness now. Afternoon feels poisoned. She walks around with quiet confidence, small smiles, polite, in a way that promises damage. Later, Ethan just keeps working headphones on code, scrolling no visible stress, either completely doomed or fully ready. Sleep is garbage that night. Morning feels. Charge voice is low, everyone pretending not to stare. She shows up dressed like she's heading into court, tight blazer, hair pulled back, face locked in righteous mode. He walks in holding coffee. Same calm expression as always. 10 o'clock hits. PM comes over, looking like he hasn't slept. They're ready, he says. Walk to the conference room, feels way longer than usual. Inside is HR Director Marcy. Normally all smiles today. The smiles gone binder already sitting open on the table, like a weapon tabs, highlights, color-coded chaos. He puts down a thin notebook pen next to it. No binder, no drama. Just tools looks like someone who trusts facts. Marcy starts talking in that sterile HR tone, formal complaint, filed fact-finding meeting. She gives Ken the floor. First she takes a deep breath, like she's about to perform. Starts with praise company values, inclusion, all that talks about her patients, then shifts into the narrative pattern of dismissiveness, refusal to engage in culture, creating exclusion through passive negativity. Day one, pause becomes identity rejection. Simple email becomes erasure, T. Answer becomes disrespect. She starts listing dates like evidence in a trial. September 12th, ignored a resource in general. September 20th, redirected inclusive discussion to tech work. October 1st, failed to validate lived experience, voice stays, calm the whole time. That calm makes it sound factual, but it's all emotion. Then she drops it, I don't feel safe. Room goes silent. Marcy turns to him, your perspective. He closes his notebook, voice steady, thank you. I'll go point by point. He looks at Marcy and PM, not the binder. First day setting up, environment learning, code-based starting work, email, style, name, question, thanks. Same format. He's used his whole career. Kitchen moment asked. A broad question, gave a professional answer, contributes by doing his job, well supports the team. Then he opens his laptop, project tool comes up, message threads everywhere, design, back end, QA, product. Same tone across all of them, polite, direct, work-focused. No difference between people, emails pulled up, next, marketing requests, next to engineering, ones. Same structure, same brevity, pattern becomes obvious. No targeting, no hostility, just zero interest in non-work theater. Marcy leans forward, PM straightens up, Ken starts blinking faster. Marcy asks simple, any instance of insulting language? Nothing. Any raised voice? Silence. Any refusal to complete work? Nothing. Any attempt to block a project? Still nothing. Then the hammer, did he ever use incorrect pronouns? She flips through the binder, fast pages everywhere. Finds nothing because he just used names like a normal person. Marcy looks tired now, the kind of tired that says she's seen this before. PM finally speaks, voice shaky but real. He's been excellent. Talks about reduced tech debt documentation. Project moving faster because of him. Marcy turns to me. You sit nearby, right? Have you seen any hostility? Mouth goes dry, everyone looking at me. I take a breath. No, I say. He's quiet, helps when asked. Professional. Ken's face changes, not anger, yet fear, because facts are stacking up. Then Marcy asks the real question. So the complaint is mainly about tone and participation in cultural discussions? Ken nods too fast. Yes. His neutrality undermines belonging. Marcy repeats it slowly. Neutrality room shifts. Saying it out loud sounds insane. Ken tries to recover, goes into ideology mode. Silence is violence. Non-engagement is complicity. Refusal to affirm identity is harm. Marcy raises a hand, cuts her off. This isn't a philosophy seminar, voice sharper now. This is a workplace investigation. Ken's jaw tightens. She switches tactics. You're prioritizing his comfort over my safety. Marcy doesn't move. Safety requires evidence. So far, I've seen none of harassment. And then it happens, the thing everyone's been waiting for. She cracks, not yelling, but close mask slips, voice climbs, words speed up, accusations stack, this company claims to care. You're enabling harm, you're validating toxic masculinity. PM looks like he wants to disappear. Marcy stays steady, then drops the HR kill shot. Work channels are for work. Town halls are for business questions. Pressuring coworkers into ideological participation is not professional. She goes pale because the power she built was never hers. Borrowed from management and HR, just stopped lending it. Marcy turns to him. Anything else to add? I expect a simple no. But he takes a breath, not dramatic, just controlled, looks at Marcy. Then PM, then finally at her room, goes quiet, like before a storm. Yes, he says. Voice steady. I want to clarify what's happening. Doesn't say her name, doesn't need to. My neutrality is being labeled as harm. Because it refuses emotional compliance. She starts shaking her head mid-sentence like she already knows. You call this feminism, he says. My pulse starts pounding. He just said the forbidden word, but he's saying it like a report. But the way you practice it here isn't about equality. Room feels tighter. It's about control. He keeps going, same calm rhythm. You require rituals. You require affirmations. You require people to prove loyalty to your worldview, to be considered safe. Her eyes go wide like she's watching something illegal. You claim to fight for freedom, he says, but my freedom to stay neutral threatens you. Pause just enough. You treat professional boundaries like a personal attack, because they limit your reach. Her face turns red, hands gripping the binder tight. He doesn't raise his voice, doesn't smirk, just delivers the conclusion. If an ideology collapses because someone focuses on work, then the problem isn't that person. She makes this broken sound, half gasp, half choke. Like reality just betrayed her. Then the final line lands flat. Clinical, what you're calling feminism here, is a tool for power, and anyone who doesn't perform it becomes the enemy. Small pause, eyes steady. I won't be part of a sect. Room freezes solid. PM forgets how to blink. Marcy's pen stops mid-note. Her mouth opens. Nothing comes out because she can't attack his tone, and tone is her whole game. Then it breaks, chair scrapes, loud binder slams. Shut. This is violence, she snaps, voice too sharp for the room. You're proving my point. All of you are proving my point. Marcy steps in. Please lower your voice. That's not helping. Of course, she fires back. Tone policing. Classic. PM mutters, oh my God, like he's praying. Marcy ends it. This meeting is over. We'll follow up with next steps. She stands abruptly, points at him like he committed a crime. You're why this industry is broken, then storms out. Door slams hard enough to rattle glass. Silence stays behind. Marcy exhales. Slow. PM rubs his face. He just closes his laptop, puts the notebook away, stands up, nods politely to HR. Walks out like it's a normal Tuesday. I follow PM. We walk back through the office. People pretend not to stare. They fail 30 minutes later. Department message drops from PM, short and sharp. Reminder, company channels are for work-related communication. Keep discussions focused on deliverables. Non-work advocacy shouldn't be posted in general. Everyone translates instantly. Shut it down. She doesn't come back to her desk that day. About an hour later, she shows up with a box. Mail, tears, mug, goes in. Quote, bored, goes in. She avoids eye contact. Walks out. Rumor says, fired. Truth is worse. Formal, written warning, misuse of company time, creating disruption, future complaints under review. Her power deflates officially, like someone unplugged a speaker. She burns 2 weeks. PTO office atmosphere changes within hours. People start talking again, jokes come back, no one scans the room before speaking. Kitchen becomes normal. Again, someone says, you guys, nothing happens. Productivity spikes like a stock chart. Then she returns. Different posture, quieter. Voice stays at her desk. No performances, no ambushes, nothing in general. Almost eerie. He stays exactly the same. Comes in, works, leaves, no gloating. Never mentions the meeting. Doesn't care about applause. Weeks pass like that. Calm, steady. Then the weird ending hits. Random, Wednesday 9 a.m. Sharp hashtag, general, gets a post. One of her old articles, Silence is Violence, big bold title link preview. Everyone freezes P. M messages IT immediately logs. Get checked. Turns out it's not her. It's a scheduled Slack workflow set up months ago. Auto posting every morning, ghost of culture, past PM, deletes it 10 minutes later. Another one appears, same post, new schedule, then a third. She planted them everywhere, little-time landmines. IT spends the afternoon hunting them down. People start laughing. Real laughter. First time in months, someone renames one bot Ken Bot. Someone pins the last post like a museum piece. Even Marcy smiles when she walks by. 2 days later, HR calls her again. No binder this time. Just consequences by Friday. She's gone for real. No farewell email badge, just stops working, desk, gets cleared, quietly, mail, tears, mug, never returns, life, resets, bugs, steps, logs, paychecks. He keeps doing the same thing. Work is just work, and for the first time in a year, that actually feels like freedom.